Welcome to the series where I show you what I cook every day to replicate the pleasure of junk food while still being healthy, okay, like healthy food, and most importantly being convenient, okay. I hate cooking from, complicated stuff, recipe chefs that use a lot of utensils and use a lot of, timings, take time, like, I hate that, I hate that whole thing, okay. So we will go over health, convenience, and pleasure, okay, from food, like tasty, deliciousness, okay, if you can call it if we can call it this way. So I wanted to make a note on health here. Many people will kind of ignore this, but it's fine. You do you. Like, if you really want to improve your health, it's something you can consider doing. So the pan I'm using, okay, I will be using, is non-stick, meaning you see it's like stainless steel, like plain old stainless steel pan. It's not Teflon or any like non-stick pan, and people will say that it is fine as long as it is not scratched. Like, obviously, if it is scratched, even like it's fucking proven that it's bad for you. But even when it is not scratched, honestly, why risk it? I can do everything in this pan. So yeah, you decide. There are people that say that it doesn't like make you unhealthy. Sorry, it doesn't like affect your health in any way if you use the non-stick pan, like even new. But forever chemicals, this shit, I don't deal with that. So you do you. I don't use it. So if you just saw, like, I took the celery out of a box, a cardboard box, okay, the one I'm laying the celery on, and I'm using it as a cutting board, okay. This is an extremely powerful convenience tip, okay. Usually you will get a cutting board, but the thing is that, it's kind of big, okay, cutting board is big, and you also have to clean it later, okay. Oh yes, it doesn't take much, I don't give a fuck, I don't want to clean it, so I will just use this, let's call it like single-use cutting board, okay, and it's also like this kind of cardboard thing that I will have to throw it away anyway, so why don't use it as a cutting board now? Okay, you get the point. You may not always have this, like, it's not always that you have a cutting, like a cardboard box, but in case you have, just keep that in mind. Also, I usually take a towel and put the scraps of what I'm cutting in. In that case, I use that plastic thing, but usually I use a towel so I can throw everything in the organic trash, okay? So let me see what I have. Okay, I want to bring up a very interesting point here. Oh, first of all, did you notice the knife? Usually people will... actually, there was a guy that commented on one of my videos telling me, bro, I cannot look at you like cutting the stuff with this knife, like buy a real chef's knife. I was like, yeah, I mean, I could, I just don't, because I don't give a fuck. It doesn't change much. This brings me to the next point, which is, why do we even cut things, okay? Well, to my point of view, think about it, like, it is just like ingredients, it's just like compounds and shit. The only reason you cut stuff is because it fits well in your mouth. Like, if you think about it, there are two extremes. Like, one extreme could be whole ingredients separate, and it is like one end of the spectrum. Like, the other end of the spectrum could be like a soup, like a blended soup, okay? And, oh, by the way, take a look at this powder I just put. I will go back to it later. And in my opinion, you just have to cut how much you desire to have the things in your mouth. Wait, how big, okay, do you want those things to be in your mouth? Like, are you okay with having a piece of tomato this big? I'm okay with that. If you want to go smaller, you can go, but it's up to you. It's kind of strange. I will get to it to this point maybe in future videos, but I will have to be quicker now because I have a few points to come across. So I'm adding dried tomatoes. I just chopped dried tomatoes, okay? Dried tomatoes are a very, very powerful ingredient. They have they have 4 of the 6 pillars of my pleasure hypothesis, meaning the 4 of the 6 things that junk food companies or I also use to make the food very fucking tasty, okay? They have sweetness, they have saltiness, they have umami, okay, savoriness, and they also have acidity, okay? Dried tomatoes are OP, so just use them with caution. And I'm also adding vinegar, okay? Vinegar is acidic. Acidic is another component of the pleasure hypothesis that also is present in tomatoes. That's why in the first place I added fresh tomatoes. Okay, remember the powder I added, like that brown powder? That brown powder was basically an umami powder, okay, a savory powder. You can bypass this by using broth powder, the bouillon, the stock powder you put in the water to make it a broth. You can also use it in normal food. Just be aware that that is not only umami or savory, but it is also very salty. So just keep that in mind when you add it. Don't add too much salt if you also add the broth powder. So that was not a broth powder. That was basically dried mushrooms, grinded. Okay, the ground, powdered, dried mushroom. Okay, those are very umami. I'm also going to add, still with the wrong knife, I'm also going to add this onion. Okay, why onion? Why not? You know, I was cooking, and usually people will comment on my cooking, let's say, methods, meaning, why are you putting the onions now? You usually do it like beforehand, when you are stir frying everything. You don't add it at the end of the stir fry, okay? Because you know, there are some vegetables that cook longer, some vegetables cook shorter, like quicker. Honestly, I've tried many times, but to be honest, don't give a fuck. Just add whatever you want, whenever you want, and you'll be fine, okay? It's not that deep. So I'm adding an onion out of timing, okay? That's the best way to put it. So that is something, and okay, I wrote a note here. I lowered the heat. If you go back a little bit, I lowered the heat. Why did I lower the heat? Yes, maybe when I was cutting the onion, I went back and lowered the heat. This is a framework I always give for granted, because it is like embedded in my brain now. But I think it could be useful for the people that do not have this embedded in their brain. So what you do is to not care, okay? Because this is all about convenience, not caring about what you're cooking and when you're cooking and how you are cooking it. So a mental trick you can use, okay, to not care about temperature, okay, is set the temperature however the fuck you want, okay? High, low, medium. Usually go medium. But keep in mind this, okay? If you hear a sound, or if you see something, or if you smell something, okay, these are usually the three senses involved, that is out of the ordinary. Meaning, if you see a lot of smoke, okay, a lot of vapor going out of the food, if you hear a very bad sound, like some beatboxing now, you know, some weird sound that is not very comforting, okay, not very cozy, and you're like, oh fuck, I think this is about burn, okay, you lower the heat. Same goes with the smell. If you smell some burned smell, that was kind of obvious, but obviously you will lower the heat. This is a bit of a way to not care about the temperature, and just lower it accordingly, okay? This is just the framework people, not only me, use to regulate the heat, okay, if you didn't have this yet. So let me think what I can say now. Yeah, dried tomatoes are OP ingredient, by the way, and I will use, sorry, let me think. What can I talk about that I didn't talk about earlier? Yeah, so like the chopping things, okay, the chopping size of the things. Let's go back to that for a moment. I don't care. Like, I've also made meatballs, if you noticed a few videos ago, where I do not cut the things in the right way, okay? And you know, I was thinking about it, and why and like when do we like very small chopped things? Because to be honest, I often stress a lot. I used to stress a lot about the precise size of the you know, ingredient, and I used to think that the size of the vegetable or the anything would really be important for the timing, okay, for the like how much does it take to cook. I thought that this big, okay, and this big will take a lot of different time to cook. Well, it was not that different, okay, it took about the same time. I made a how to cook vegetables video. In that video I go a bit in depth in that concept, and yeah, I want to say that I added salt now. I shouldn't have done it, because I don't know, it was too salty at the end. Maybe I added too much, but I feel like the dried tomatoes were already salty enough. Okay, so that's why I should have not added them. I'm running short of things to say, so I'm turning the fan. Okay, I usually don't try to not turn it on because when I record, I don't want the too much sound coming from the audio. But yes, you know, I usually don't, but you should. Okay, if you're cooking yourself. Okay, putting in the eggs. And I'm not preparing a plate, a separate bowl where I whisk the eggs and then add them. I'm just dropping them here, not even whisking them immediately, just take my time, drop them. You know, can I say about eggs? Try to break them in a flat surface. I think you knew this, but it's more convenient, it's more safe. So I'm just dropping everything. There is always that motherfucker is kind of clinging on the eggshell, and yeah. So I will now take the spatula and whisk everything on up. Okay. Now tell me, you tell me the difference between this and whisking the eggs in a non-stick pan. Okay, like a precise omelette doesn't fucking make a difference. Okay, it's all mixed together anyway. So why should you care about being precise, about the the precise shape or the precise, it's scrambled. Okay, this is like scrambled eggs with vegetables. Okay, that grant this meal a good bunch of umami, acidity from the tomatoes and the vinegar, saltiness from salt. At the beginning I also added oil. Okay, I forgot to say that oil is very important, like fat is so important. And also sweetness from the vegetables. What are we missing? We are missing digestibility. There is not much digestible stuff here. And okay, I said them all. So I'm dropping the eggs, they are ready, and you know, just out of nowhere, just mindlessly made a healthy meal that tasted good. Okay, this is all about it. And yes, I avoided a lot of steps and useless stuff, useless ingredients and shit. I actually love to make these recipes simpler, more simple. Like many recipes. Like when I started off cooking, I followed recipe very precisely, and then I slowly learned what I could do less and what I could include to make the recipe even better. Okay, so I actually launched a small service like a fucking 90 cents, and you can send me a recipe. I will simplify that. So if you have any recipe that you like but you find it hard, okay, you don't like it to do, you don't like to do that because it is too hard. You maybe have a recipe in mind, or maybe you want to do a recipe but it looks too hard, or maybe you do often a recipe that it is kind of annoying to do but you like it. Whatever you have, maybe like your mother makes a recipe that you would like to learn, send me that, I will simplify that. So that's pretty much it. I had some prosciutto also, and if you notice here, I'm also putting some water into the pan, okay, because this helps to scrub the egg stuck on the bottom of the pan. Very convenient. If I didn't do that, it would have been very stuck to the bottom and it would have been harder to remove, okay. So just add water as soon as you finish eating and you're clean. So check the description, like the video if you learned something new, and I'm out.
Thank you.